All right. I hope everyone can hear me out there. Oh, I'm hearing feedback in here. I'm just going to turn my audio down here. It's just okay. So I decided to start to stream a little bit early because I've never done streaming before, so I don't want to make sure that I'm getting it through here. I think there's some people in the chat room. Let's take a look here. There we go. I got Playcam. Just installed a new antenna. I now get NBC, but I do not get a few channels I was hoping to get. It's located also. Really wanted to get some kind of streaming to combine with it. Yeah, an antenna is good. A free to air satellite is great when you have an antenna. I use my antenna and I use my free to air a lot. Something that's going on there. Okay, sorry, stop talking here because I'm listening to myself in the feedback here. So, my wife was very kind to me tonight, and she's looking after the kids upstairs while I'm doing this. I always wanted to be doing some live streaming, but I haven't. With the kids, it's hard to do it at prime time. For me, I could do it in the afternoon at times, but I know there'd only be one or two people coming in for that. So. Okay, Bro asks, Robbie, are you a satellite installer in real life? I'm just going to take this thing off because it's distracting me. I just want to make sure I got my audio coming through. No, I am not it's Brandon. Okay, cool. I'm not a satellite installer. I'm just a hobbyist to free to air. I've been into free to air since 2008 was when I bought a free to air satellite dish, and I've always wanted, when I grew up, I wanted to have a satellite dish, and so when I finally got an apartment, I lived on the wrong side. So when I switched apartments, when I moved here to Kingston, we lived in an apartment for a little while, and I made sure I got an apartment with a southeast facing balcony, and that was great. So I was able to get 83 West had retro TV at the time, and I was able to get Galaxy 19 and the History Channel, which used to be on 101 West, which was great with a KU band dish. And when I bought my home, the big thing is I wanted a spot where I knew I could put a big C-band dish. So is there a way, I don't have it set up here so that Brandon could get in here. Check out Playcam's channel, his fish aquarium channel. He's been a good friend to this channel for a long time. You dislike Dish Network, I see, yes. If you do a tripod. Okay, so I'm going to throw to the intro now. I set up the intro, and I'll be right back. Then we'll start the show off, okay? So do my intro. We're back. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay. And my audio is okay. Okay. So other questions here. So thank you for joining my live stream tonight. I appreciate all you people that have been watching these videos. I've been a free to air enthusiast for a long time. I never had a satellite dish growing up. We had cable, and I always wanted to have a satellite dish because you got channels that we couldn't get here in Canada. I live in Canada, by the way. Tomorrow's Canada Day. And there was like shows like, I don't know, I remember there was a new Leave It to Beaver show, and I wanted to see that, and we couldn't see that in Canada. Eventually we did. It was like things in Canada would always come to Canada a few years after it would in the States. And growing up, we didn't get the Fox network, so I remember there were shows that were on Fox that we couldn't get here. I'm getting a red light here. I wonder what that's indicating. It's not really showing me the analytics stream settings. It says good condition. Okay. And Fairpoint Farms is on tonight. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so trying to read these. I went to the eye doctor today, and they put the drops in my eyes, so I'm still getting used to reading up close. I had to take my glasses off to read. So I need new glasses or new lenses for my glasses. So I'm just going to be a little slow on top of having a reading disability trying to read. Do they make satellite heaters? Yes, they do. I live in Canada. I don't have a satellite heater. I might need a heater for the actuator. They do sell heat devices for your actuator, because I've gotten it in Canada. I got some cold days here where my actuator was not happy moving. Luckily, it's in the sun, so sometimes or in the morning and late at night. But if the sun hits it, might make it warm enough for the actuator to move. Trying to get Alex K trying to get a fixed Galaxy 19, which is the best transponder. Trying to get fixed on Galaxy 19. The 12.1 something. The Russia Today one is the one I usually will aim for. I'll set my satellite meter to so that I'll be able to get Galaxy 19. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people here chatting. So if I miss you, maybe copy it and paste it again so I'll see it here in the chat. Oh wait, there's somebody here. There's like, oh, I can't scroll here. Rat Madness. Ever watch Dr. Gene Scott? Oh, yes, I did. I listened to Dr. Gene Scott on shortwave for years, and I've heard this legend of this guy who wore multiple glasses and a leather jacket and a hat. And I was like, and then one day when I went to a friend of a friend's house who had a C-band satellite dish, or I was flipping through the channels, like, oh, that's the guy they were telling me about. That's Dr. Gene Scott. And I think I heard him on shortwave or something by that time. CP Wolf asks, have I ever used CKU band for camping? No, I have not. Well, at my cottage, or my family's cottage, I put up a KU band satellite dish, but my parents were not. They didn't really like the programming on Galaxy 19. They wanted Canadian programming, so that's QSat dish that I use a lot in my videos. I just put a motor on, and that's one. But then for them to be able to use running a motor to run it to different satellites to get NBC and Cozy and PBS, which would be probably the channels they would be interested in. So, do I have a chat room on here? Okay, good. I can look over here at the chat room. And yes, Dr. Gene Scott used to read glasses over his glasses, Mr. Ball and Ball. Rodimus Prime. I live in Alaska and I'm watching all your videos. Thanks for being so nice and explaining all about FTA. Cool, from Alaska. I'd like to know, I do hear the more up north you are, you do have to have a larger dish for Alaska. So that's, I don't know how big, but I do know, like, even for Dish Network or DirecTV, they tend to be a little bit larger in Alaska. And Playcam said it was 12.052 vertical is the best on Galaxy 19. I believe that's the Russia Today news, RT. Yeah, Pastor Scott, Eric there. Yeah, Pastor Scott, he was probably one of the first things when I did aim a satellite dish in 2008, when I first was getting into free to air and I aimed at Galaxy 19. I think he was one of the first channels I was able to tune. I was like, oh, there's the guy. Do this live stream actually kind of makes me feel like Pastor Scott, where I'm like talking at the camera and just rambling on. Bro Weaver asks, why can't we use the DirecTV dishes or the old Prime Star dishes and encryption question mark? Prime Star, a lot of people do use Prime Star. I don't even think that you have to change the LMB for the Prime Star, because when Prime Star started, it was analog, and eventually they went to digital, and then they were bought by Direct, one of them companies. And but there's a lot of Prime Star dishes around, and people can, a lot of people are using old Prime Star dishes to get Galaxy 19. I use a Shaw Direct dish because here in Canada there's a service called Shaw Direct, and when people cancel Shaw Direct, the dishes are at the end of their driveway, so I pick them up, I put them on my roof, and it's not the greatest dish for watching Galaxy 19, but I can get RT with it, and it's decent enough for where I just put it there, and I have a dissect switch, so I'm able to plug it in. There's 4 ports, so it's something else, an extra port that I can plug into my dissect switch. Water time, because my mouth is running dry. I'm excited. Well, thank you for watching, guys. Put my water down there. I spilled my water or my tea all over my desk the other day. I was just like, ah. I was. Yeah, Kijiji. Yeah, in Canada it's Kijiji. In the States it's Craigslist. Yeah, so Shaw Direct is like Canada's Prime Star, where you can use their dishes for DirecTV. So anyway, so someone was asking, DirecTV, there is Direct and Dish Network do have world dishes, but they got to be at least a little bit bigger than what they use for their circular KU dishes. So you'll probably, I always recommend get a 36-inch dish, especially if you're going to run it on a motor. It's a little bit extra, but they're like 100 and something, 120 on eBay. I do have a shop. I don't actually sell them myself, but I have a shop where I refer links. eBay is the best place I found to get it, and support eBay. eBay is like people running businesses at their homes selling stuff. So in that way, I like eBay. I know people have told me that they've gotten scammed, but I've been pretty good with eBay, and if there's ever been a problem, I've been able to get a refund through eBay. So that's where I recommend for looking for a dish, don't waste your time and effort with one of these older receivers that were used for piracy back in the day. I guess some people here probably know what I'm talking about. Back in 2006, 5, I remember my supervisor at my work used to tell me about this, how he got his American satellite. And he was basically doing piracy, which I don't condone. I'm here to promote free to air, not piracy. And free to air, unfortunately, free to air has been gotten up like a black eye because the people doing piracy in the early 2000s called it free to air, where it wasn't true free to air. So now we have to use these terms like, oh, but this is true free to air. This is legal free to air. I've coined the hashtag free satellite TV because that's what it is. It's free for all, fair for anyone to tune in their yard. No, you don't have to do any hacking, or you don't have to break through the encryption, which is illegal. So that's why. So I don't condone that at all, because what people do at the privacy of their home, it's not my business. But I'm just telling people, don't do anything illegal. Make sure you got yourself the disclaimer. Make sure you got your dish grounded so you don't get electrocuted by lightning. All that stuff. Do it at your own risk. Don't blame me if anything goes wrong. And I don't know. And where are those companies now? Where is ViewSat? Where is Sonic View? Where is CoolSat? You don't see those companies, that brand anymore. So do a little Google search on that and you'll find out about that stuff. So yeah, and hey. Danny Shortwave Radio, greetings and hello from Yankees, New York. I enjoy your channel. I have an old KU dish. I believe it is 90 centimeter. I picked up from Craigslist. That's a good place to get them. I was thinking of using it for my FTA setup. So yeah, there's a couple of main receivers I recommend. One is the one that Michael sells, and I have a link on my shop at freesatellitetv.net, and he sells the Amico Mini. And if you're not tech savvy, that's the one I recommend. If you're a little bit tech savvy, if you're a Linux guy like me, you've used Linux, you can get one of the OpenATV boxes, the Edison Mio. Tech 2000 sells those. That's another good place to go look, tech2000.com. They've helped me and my channel quite a bit. And they have a forum site, tvrosat.com. And you can they're great resources for learning about free to air. And there's my channel, which I'm celebrating today, the 100th episode of the Happy Satellite Nerd. I always got a smile because my title's happy, even though sometimes I might be angry, but I'm not really angry a lot. It's very rare I'm angry. So yeah, there's this is a live stream, so I'm gonna blow wherever the wind blows. Wherever you're blowing with the comments is probably where the discussion's gonna go. I don't know if anyone's joined me on Discord tonight. I have a Discord chat. No one's on Discord right now. I thought that would be kind of cool because I don't have like a phone line to call in. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a talk radio show setting. How many people are on here watching now anyway? 27. Cool. 27 people watching. That's cool. That's a lot more than what I thought. I thought it'd be 2 or 3 people. Two of my friends on here chatting with me, which I appreciate you being here. So I'm going to look at the comments here. I know my eyes are having a hard time focusing tonight. Okay, there. Something. Shaw, it looks like a DirecTV. Probably is that a Motorola manufactured box? Probably. CP Wolf. And also these comments from where I'm talking here and how this comes up when my voice gets to you and when you comment back, there's like a 30-second delay. There's a delay anyway. No, really. Bro says many independent off-the-air TV stations in the early 80s and 90s would rip off game streams from stations in Chicago off the feeds. Free-to-air satellite on a Raspberry Pi. I imagine it could be done. I kind of do that with my... I did have a video about that where I did it with the Z Gamma and with the Edison Mio, where you use a program called, or a plugin for Kodi called Power VU Plus. I did a video, and if you did a search on my channel, it would come up where the receiver will sit in one room, and then it will send the video off of the satellite receiver to the Raspberry Pi. So technically I have done that. I actually haven't had a USB hookup to run like a satellite receiver out of a Raspberry Pi. I think people have done that though. It just software wise, it gets beyond me to do that. Even though I'm a Linux guy, there's a certain level of software where I'm able to do. That's why I like Linux Mint. It's a very easy operating system for a computer. It's easier than Windows, in my opinion. So that's another thing my channel is big on, is technology like Linux, open source free software, which I'm using right now to stream this show using OBS on my cheap Acer laptop. But hey, it's running Linux and it's working good. $1,900 Robbie, whatever. Okay. 30 watching. Wow. Yeah, I'm not looking at the who's watching. I'm just looking at the my preview here, and I'm looking at what's going on in the chat room here. You want to pull in 125 West KU band, the Northern Workshop? It seems to be a little trickier one to get, but since I set up the motor, which I'm going to talk about in our video coming up about motors, is using USALS, USALS, however you pronounce that. That has made it so much easier. I used to move my motorized KU band dish. I would just move it until I got signal, and then I would set a point and leave it there, and then move to the next one and find it. I don't know why I never used USAL. Well, the thing is, I entered it wrong, but I read my latitude, longitude wrong, entered it incorrectly in the receiver, and it didn't work. So I was like, what's going on here? But when I set it up on my deck on the tripod, it made it so easy. I mean, somebody said, "Oh, your video makes it look like you just point this dish at the sky and away you go." I showed how you calculate your de-inclination angle. I wasn't sure if I got that just right. If someone that does, let me know. But it made it easier for getting the azimuth angle for the USALs. And then I was able to get 125 West. That was one question, sorry, and other people are asking me questions here. Dylan Durham finally got my C-band satellite dish up on 97 West. That's cool. Good channels there. AMG, it's cool. It's a good channel. I used to love AMG when they had all the independent wrestling shows, and that's one thing made me want to get into satellite because of wrestling. Because I want you can see it on YouTube now. Smoky Mountain Wrestling had all of its shows put on YouTube, and you could tell someone recorded it with a C-band satellite dish, because halfway through one of the shows you see them moving, you see the dish, little thing on the bottom of the screen to adjust the C-band satellite dish. So that was kind of cool. But back in the 90s, like, I would read Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I'd hear about all these other non-WWF wrestling promotions, and I wanted to see them. And like ECW was one of the channels, and so I was like, I wish I had a satellite dish. Or even before that, to watch Monday Night Raw. We didn't get Monday Night Raw in Canada. Now I do every Monday. Every Monday I get it live on 55 West or on 125 West, but it wasn't on 125 West last night. So I had to go back to 55 West, and it was there. So I missed 20 minutes of the show. Do you have, Bro asked, do you have any rain problems receiving a KU or a C-band dish? Now, I was watching that news network that is better than CNN, better than Fox News on 99 West. You might know what news network I'm talking about. And it rained last night, or it rained around 4 o'clock yesterday, and it cuts out when it rains, and a lot of people have a hard time getting that transponder on that news network that's on 99 West or in Galaxy 16. Alan H. How's it going, Alan? Which satellite has syndicated show feeds such as Murray? I believe it's C-band, a big dish. 99 West. The GQRX? No, that's the software I use. It's a 4-letter acronym service that's on there. I don't know if they're on there anymore, though. Playcam says 125 is the hardest to find. I got it with my Shaw Direct dish, but they changed it to DVB S2, and it's been harder since they've done that like a year or 2 years ago. Fairpoint Farm says AMG is great. They had a horror host named Mr. Lobo and some great wrestling as well. I haven't seen that channel in years. Oh yeah, you get AMG? Yeah, I don't get that anymore. Cargoy, it's funny how many people think C-band is dead. My smallest hometown has 300 people, has cable, and the original C-band dishes are there from the mid-'80s and are still up on the way. Yes, and you're going to hear every year, a couple times a year, you're going to hear C-band is dying, C-band is dead, 5G, C-band is dead. I'm probably going to be using that thing when I'm an old man. It's going to still work, but yeah, 5G. They transmit milliwatts. So explain that to me. Not megawatts, not radiation that's going to kill you. Milliwatts. Milliwatts is low power. Like your cell phone. I don't know how many watts a cell phone puts out, but something like that. I don't know. No one's on my Discord chat. Are they? If someone wants to call in. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, there's all sorts of stuff going on here in the chat room. Somebody said something about AWA. The North Coast Workshop. I remember the 80s wrestling promotions. UWF, yeah. On Sunday, and AWA Saturday, WWF Superstars on Sunday morning. Yes. And that's what made me, when I was a kid, my neighbors had a satellite dish growing up. So we had cable. They had this C-band satellite dish, and I looked out my window. And I never had the nerve to go up. Can I run a cable from your LMB? I wouldn't have known how to do that at the time. But the receivers in the 80s, I was a kid. I didn't have. It was like a couple $1,000s for the receivers back then. Now receivers under $100, $88 for if you go to the freesatellitetv.net and go to my shop. There's an Amico receiver there for $88, and that's a great starter receiver. And oh yeah, my accent's cutting out on me. So my accent is an Ottawa Valley accent. It's kind of like the Northern Canadian hick redneck accent is what my accent is. The Ottawa Valley accent. I'm from down in the Ottawa Valley down there, eh? You got to say there at the end of your sentence, an A. There, A. It's kind of like a Scottish, German, French, Canadian mix accent. But Buddy St. John asks, where's a good place to find wild feeds? It all depends on what type of wild feeds you're looking for. KU band is good. 87 West KU band is a good place. I don't know if I know someone's in here that could tell me that. But the KU band feeds, actually, that's one thing where KU band has over C band is the feeds, except for wrestling. Wrestling's on C band. But KU band has a lot of feeds, like on the weekends. And I'm not a sports fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I mean, wrestling's like an entertainment. But anyway, yeah, so I couldn't say what satellite. 91 West has some feeds. 91 West does have Fox and was it ABC or CBS? They have those channels up there. I tuned them in the other night, but they're not there all the time. So they come and go all the time. And then we lost where's Brandon there? He's talking about having what was the thing there? The ABC News, all the ABC News feeds. Oh, sorry, you scrolled away here, Playcam. Yeah, we know you're talking about 99. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, right, Mark. Sand. Yeah, C-band is dying. Yeah, I don't know. There'll be a repack to C-band with 5G. So yeah, let me talk about the repack. So what my friends over at Tech 2000 TV or OSAT were telling me is they're going to put a lot of the I'm moving my hands with that. Anyway, so they're going to put the satellites in the higher point of the arc. So which would be better for your actuator in the long run because of the noise that 5G will make. So a lot of the programming is going to tend to move to the higher part of the arc, so it won't get as much terrestrial noise. Will you need to maybe get a new LMB cover or a new LMB? Possibly, but if my titanium C1 LMB, which has the 4G filter, not the 5G filter, if that will block out the noise or helps block out noise, then that may help. And also, they recommend a larger dish. So even in the 80s, they had microwave issues where they put like a shroud around the dish to break the microwave noise. And that's really nothing new. There's been microwave radio noise in the air, like your Wi-Fi. It's a lot of Wi-Fi. Well, they're 2 gigahertz, but yeah. Anyway, so let me answer some questions here. Samuel G, is there some way to hear space sounds with some device? Space sounds, I'm like sky sounds. Nikola Tesla, from what I understand, Nikola Tesla, he has this famous quote where he heard Mars, and the reporter said he heard Martians, like with radios, like he could hear the vibration of Mars, but then the reporter said he heard Mars, from what I understand. Like even Tesla with his radio equipment, early in the early days of radio, he was listening um, to noise from outer space. And there is radio telescopes, but I know radio telescopes are much larger than your home, like even a 10-foot C-band satellite dish. It's not like the movie The Arrival, where Charlie Sheen. It's getting a little crazy here. Let's talk about Charlie Sheen. Gets like all these satellite dishes, these home C-band satellite dishes, and points them at the sky, and he's able to. I forget. That was so long ago when I saw that movie. There was a sequel to it too, which I never saw. WNBC4 is C-band only. Is that the one on 99 West? There is an NBC, the New York NBC, I believe. I'm not. Do I get? Actually, I don't get NBC on over the air. That's like the one network that I don't get with an over the air antenna. So that's where like a satellite dish kind of completes the use of over the air antenna stuff. Is you can get those networks that you can't get. Most of them are on a large C-band dish, like all the DigiNets and all that. You need I think Cozy is on KU band. Playcam, you can also get at 30 NPR stations on 91. Yeah, I don't care about NPR. uh, Buddy St. John, Satellite News Gathering, SNG. I don't know what you're saying. Please elaborate. I might have. Yes, with Elon Musk's. What's that? Starlink. And if they're watching over at Starlink, send me one of them. I'll make a video about it. That'd be kind of cool. It is going to be a game changer for internet and for people who live in the country with Starlink. If people in the country are going to be able to get a better internet than HughesNet with these low Earth orbit satellites. Now, these satellites are going to be different than what our home television satellites. They're going to be satellites that actually move. I'm going to point here with my hands to illustrate. They move through the sky. You can actually do this if you got a scanner. I don't have a scanner here. with amateur radio satellites. You can listen to amateur radio satellites, and you can track them and listen to them, and they fly over your house. It's kind of like the International Space Station if you look for it. I've seen it in the early mornings. I've seen it like right before the sun rises, where I see a bright light. And I was doing that work when we were all waiting to go in. There, I'm there with my phone with the ISS tracker. There's the ISS, and I can't see it. What are you talking about? You're an idiot. You're crazy. What bands use what band uses large dish above C-band? Yeah, C-band is the large dish, bro, Weaver, and KU band is something that like. So explain KU band like for Dish Network and DirecTV and Shaw Direct and I'm going to mention that other company because they're the most evil in my opinion. But all those companies that use those smaller dishes, they use a linear KU band, so you can actually get them on a smaller dish. But most free-to-air channels, you'll need like a 36. Well, at least it's recommended you get a 36-inch dish, which I have a link in my shop over at Free Satellite TV. By clicking on those links, if you're going to buy something on eBay, just click. Even if you don't buy one of those things, it just helps me with a little small commission that will help me out for pointing you in the right direction. If I know people everyone's not able to donate, but if you want to just support me that way, I would really appreciate it. Or sit back and watch my playlist over and over again, and email those links to all your friends and post it in social media groups. Okay, sorry, I missed a bunch of comments here. Cozy and NBC12 are on 103. And get NHK Japan and some movie previews channel. Yeah, the movie channel. It's like the same movie over and over again. Yeah, in the field for news vans, they use KU band feeds. So like 99 West has a lot of news truck feeds, and 87 West I find has those. No, you can't, Dylan. You can't get. I don't believe you can get internet with a C-band dish, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions of satellite is that internet is through satellite. Most of the internet traffic is actually going through fiber optic lines here on the Earth and internationally going on in these giant cable lines underneath the ocean. Samuel G, can you take an LMB signal, convert binary to share the signal using a web server? Send the signal audio so that people can get the signal into an analog converter or FTA device. Not sure if I get your full question there, Samuel, but there is an interesting way of getting an LMB, and you can actually, from a long distance, you can send it through fiber optic, but then you have to change the polarity, so you have to have a converter to do the horizontal polarity, and or another converter doing the vertical polarity. And also there's via even the Edison Mio receiver, which is great. It's amazing. I use this the web interface, and I'm down here. I don't have the satellite receiver down here in the basement, but I watch my satellite TV channels, mostly that news channel that's better than Fox, better than CNN, that I get for free. No, and there's commercials of their own products, but it's commercials I don't have a problem with. But it's when you pay for cable, you pay for Discovery Channel, you pay for TLC, you're also paying for their commercials. There's lots of commercials during that. Do I want to buy your DishNet receiver plate? No, I'm not interested in anything like that. I've even wanted to test Orbi TVs because my video where I covered Orbi TV was one time one of the most viewed videos on my channel because nobody else talked about Orbi TV. I thought there's this new satellite provider in the United States, and there's a few other people that talked about it, but I was like. Samuel G, you are an expert. I don't. I would not say that I'm an expert. I'm a fan. I'm a nerd for this stuff, but I wouldn't call myself an expert. I need like a Bill Cooper to come out of his hiding wherever he's been, or somebody who's like a genius has been in this for a long time to Elmer me, as the ham radio term would be, to a higher level, like a Jedi master on satellite stuff. Who's another guy that was the guys that used to do the Sat Guys podcast, or it was like a radio show that they were very knowledgeable on that stuff. And there was Sat Talk Live that I used to listen to, and that used to actually be on Access America on Galaxy 19. And they used to, I don't know if you can still find their archives online somewhere, but there used to be a show called Sat Talk Live that I used to call into that show too. Actually, I went by Robert, but I go by Robbie. Are the news trucks encrypted? A lot of the time, no. Mr. B asks, are the news trucks encrypted? No, those are like one of the things that are in the clear. Are the Canadian ones encrypted? I know if my, which receiver would I refer to that as? Well, I guess I can do it with my streaming too. My ZigM, if I stream it to my computer, because it's what's that, 422 stuff. The Canadian KU band stuff's on actually Shaw Directs. I'm getting an error message here. Hopefully I'm still coming through. So yeah, there's 107 West. So if you're experiencing buffering, maybe just do a refresh to your page. Seems like there's an end problem here if you're losing my feed. Maybe I'll cut to a break right now. I need to go to the washroom. So I'm just gonna cut to my little promo that I have here for my VPN and my satellite. So I'll cut to this, and I'll be right back, guys. I just gotta go to the washroom. Please check out freesatellitetv.net, and also check out receivers and dishes, all sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can use ExpressVPN if you have a cell phone. So if you use public Wi-Fi, you tell it which area you want to connect to in New York City, connect. So if you're using public Wi-Fi at Walmart, a restaurant, you really should be using a VPN. It will protect your private data, and also it saves you a lot of money. It's a fraction of the cost of what a cell phone data plan is these days.
Please check out freesatellitetv.net, and also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes, all sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can...
Here we are. All right, if you guys can hear me. So, sorry, let's go through the questions here. Bro Weaver asks, is there channels that are like, is it family friendly? Is there porn? Not so much anymore. I'm going to take my headphones on. I can hear myself okay. Oh yeah, it says the stream's good now. Yeah, no, it's really a lot of the free to air you don't, like, well, there's a lot of religious channels and there's a lot of broadcast TV. So like typically on broadcast TV, although we're seeing a lot more of the swear words on broadcast TV these days. So, but yeah, even like that's why I love the DigiNets. I love MeTV and Antenna TV. Antenna TV is not on satellite, but I get it with an antenna, and they show all the old shows, and I really like that stuff. I really like the retro TV type stuff. But retro TV used to be the crown jewel of like the DigiNets and satellite TV, but I don't know I haven't really been watching it now because now I get over the air stuff and I get retro TV, or no, I get Antenna TV and MeTV, and I don't really watch Cozy a whole lot, but those are the two that I go to. Hey, Playcam's going away, so hey, talk to you later. Yes, Mark, I have a KU band set up. Package. It's Eric talking to Mark. Bro Weaver says, I don't think the FCC has jurisdiction over the KU. I've heard that said before. I'm not sure because I know. See, FCC controls the United States, but then there's international control how the government has that. So I'm not sure. I'd love to have a KU band channel, and I wonder if it'd be easier to have like a channel on KU band than to actually start broadcasting, because yeah, I don't have the money. But if you want to donate $1 million, or I don't know how many $1 it would be, the news channel guy, the Turbo Force man, I won't mention his name, over on 99 West, he says I'm gonna say he spends $20,000 a month for his channel, for like a 720p channel. So I don't know if that's right. I don't know if I'm remembering that number correctly. So BYU, yes, BYU is family orientated, and that's a good channel, and it's good quality too. HD, thanks, buddy. St. John, yeah, BYU. I'm not, you know. I'm a Christian person, but I'm not like a denominational of any particular organization, and so I don't. But I like that it has a faith and family focus over on BYU, so I'm a big fan of that. 125 encrypted antenna TV. Yes, I do believe it's. I saw that on the charts. Another thing I want to mention. If you're getting into free to air and you're trying to figure, well, what channels are, I have a video, a very long rambling video, but I have a video where I go through all the channels. Or you can go to tvrosat.com and there's like a charts, which I describe in the video on where you can look at for all the channels that are on satellite, because there's a lot of them. It took me like 2 hours to run off a whole list, ramble on about all the channels that are on free to air, and I probably didn't cover all of them. Devin Cole, what's the best channel on KU band that gives you numerous English channels for FTA? It's hard to say. If you're looking for religious channels, Galaxy 19. There's a few non-religious English channels on Galaxy 19, but they've gone away. I know Galaxy 19, when I first got in free to air, we had River Broadcasting, we had, there was Megahertz Live, there was EBRU, and maybe a few other channels that were pretty decent channels. There was KTV and KTV Sports that had like TNA wrestling, WWE wrestling. There was even like, I don't know how where you be on piracy with this, but I remember there was a channel. It wasn't an English channel, so I don't remember what it was. But the day after WrestleMania, they showed WrestleMania on Galaxy 19. I don't know how they got around that, but. Bob asks us, have you ever hooked a loop through your satellite receiver for your SDR? Any hidden signals? Look there in the 80s. No. But with all this 5G stuff happening, I really would love to get a spectrum analyzer, which was like what a software-defined radio is, especially around that 4,000 megahertz area. It seems to be there's something there on certain transponders that are close to like 400 megahertz where you get this drop in signal and an 71% drop in signal. So I don't know what's happening there. I can't really say if it is 5G or is there something wrong with my dish. My dish has a little bit of a glitch in it where the de-inclination angle is, there's this bolt, and the bolt is like hanging by that much, and I need a little bit more de-inclination from what I have, but I actually get the full arc, and I don't have the de-inclination set properly. Someone wants to ever come over and help me hold the dish while I take that thing apart and take the dish down and put a new bolt in there. But it's working fine now, so I'll just leave it at that. But there is a few transponders that are not coming in perfectly. It's getting in better now, though. What is a DVB-S2 modulator? Well, first there was DVB-S1, And then they decided to come out with DVB-S2, which sometimes makes C-band like KU band, where if you have moisture in the with an 8-foot dish, you get moisture, you get pixelation. Yes, Eric. So that's what Turbo Force guy says that he pays a month. Yeah. So. Yeah, and I got lots of videos here. Lots of video. I've done 100. Actually, I've done videos that are. I've done videos probably more than 100 satellite videos, but like when I say like 10-minute videos is what I could call an episode for YouTube for right now. Good show. It says Alex K to BN at BFN. Jesse, it's not just the FCC. There is an international organization dealing with how countries manage their broadcasting. Yeah, and who voted for them? How did they get elected, or has they been appointed? Right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk. Maybe I'll talk about politics and religion another night. But I'd like to just sort of keep things on satellite before I make people hate me more. I brought my audio up yet. What's the best current brand? The one I own is the best receiver in my opinion. I like the Amicos, just for their ease of use. And if Tech 2000s is watching, just get like a easy to use receiver. I know I actually like the Edison, but it's something like, for someone who's not tech savvy, it's not the one I give my mom to use. That's for sure. Well, my mom wouldn't even use free-to-air. But something that's user-friendly. And free-to-air is the most user-friendly. When it comes to being user-friendly for TV, I gotta say the Roku is probably, when my 4-year-old son can find a YouTube video with the Roku Insignia TV, which is all in one, a smart TV. That's user friendly. We're nobody on my household, none of my kids have actually set the free-to-air receiver going ever. Have I watched a movie on? I don't know. There's Posy TV, which is a network. They have a HD, well, like 720p, I believe, channel over on 125 West. I've been parking my dish there a lot recently because they have that channel. And wrestling, WWE has had their feed there, but it was, did anyone see it there last night? It's been like 10 minutes late, I think, when it comes on for Raw. But on 125, just do a search in Rick's Wild Feeds or something like that. You'll see it. I have an error, so I don't know what's going through and what's cutting out right now. Bro Weaver, so what box has the fastest feed scan for KU? I'd probably say the Amico is a pretty good receiver. And that's actually the Amico, and everything why I promote the Amico. There's cheap receivers. Oh, there's cheap receivers that get hot. And there's other heat, which I won't get into about those receivers. There's cheap receivers that get hot, that are really cheap receivers. But they don't. The thing is, when you buy one of those receivers, you're going to find out, it doesn't have all the North American channels. Where the Amico from Michael K for whatever his amateur radio call sign is he on here tonight? Speak up if you're here. He has tutorials on his Amico. I think that would be something like I would use to search for feeds. So Roku, Mike B. So Roku is dumbing us down even more. Yeah, no kidding. My kids, I don't think my kids are gonna watch linear TV. I think it's gonna be non-linear like YouTube. Uh, I don't know, but they'll probably watch some linear TV. There's gonna be need for live linear TV. Gary D. Moore, hey, hi from Nova Scotia, Canada. I've never been to Nova Scotia. That's one place I'd like to go. I like travel all over North America, and I haven't barely been out of my province of Ontario. I've been to Quebec, which is kind of another country. For Canada Day, happy Canada Day. I think they have their moving policy day for Canada Day in Quebec. So to kind of ruin Canada Day, it's John the Baptist's birthday. I know I said it wrong, but I like saying it's Saint John Baptiste Day. I don't like saying it with a French accent. I like saying John the Baptist's birthday. Is what I like to call it. That's like their Quebec Day, and they're not religious at all. Well, they are, but they're not very religious in Quebec. Maybe they are now. I don't know. Maybe it's changed over 10 years. I've just offended a whole province, haven't I? No, I love Quebec. Quebec's a cool place to visit. Montreal is a cool city to visit. Once we can go visiting again, I'd love to go to Montreal. It's a cool city to visit. Put up a bunch of C-band dishes, live stream everything on the internet. I think people are doing that. When it comes to piracy and stuff, well, streaming. That's why I like being conscience free and streaming. Like I've had people, oh, you can get the streaming service. I've had streaming services contact me. Would you promote this product? We'll give you a free product. I said no. I don't want anything to do with that, because even though I understand the cable companies are crooks, but I don't want to also promote that where it's a fly-by-night. People are going to spend $100 for this illegal, box that's streaming content, and yeah, they're illegal. And anyway, do your own research on that. I'm just going to leave it at that with streaming. But yeah, that's why I like satellite. If it's in the clear, it's free. I do have a list. I did a video with a playlist of all these free streams, because a lot of places you can go on the internet and watch TV on their website and stream it to your to whatever to a Cody box illegally. Joseph Mall, hello from Glen Falls, MT. Which state is that? I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm not sure exactly which one, but so William Ingram asks, what size of dish for KU band and what size of a dish for C band? Good question. So you can actually get KU band on a C band dish, but you can't get C band on a KU band dish. If you have an old C-band dish, you can get a prime focus KU-band LMB, put that on there, and get really good KU-band signal. You can get, on C-band, you can get an LMB, I don't have it here, but I've done videos about it on my channel, where you can get a CKU LMB. Now with this 5G stuff and the interference filters, I'm not running that right now. I'm running just a designated C-band LMB, and then I have 2, 3, 4 KU band dishes. Is there any more? 5, and I have a few sitting in the shed. KU band dishes. Yeah. Back in the day when VC2 encryption was popular, I paid to receive some channels. Does the same apply to PowerView or DVB-S? That's something I don't want to, Alan H. I just want to stay away from that topic. That's falling into the dark side of satellite illegal territory. So I'm not promoting that stuff. The piracy has been around like probably since they've been encrypting and scrambling signals on satellite. And it's illegal, and I'm not going to talk about it here. So don't ask me. And I just want to kindly, like, if people do ask that, I'm not going to answer it. And usually I do answer a lot of the questions. A lot of people, like, I do a lot of Googles for people. People ask me questions, I Google it. There's the answer. If I got a dime for every time I Googled something for somebody. But no, PowerView is an encryption, and I don't encourage you to try to do anything like that. Are they old VC2 C-band decoder boards worth anything? No, they're not, because they don't even transmit analog anymore. Which I did a video recently where I tuned C-SPAN, which is the last analog channel on C-band. My chair squeaks. And so C-SPAN still has a analog channel. So have I been going an hour now? Cool. So I'm gonna go for another half hour, and then I'm gonna go away. So yeah, Alan, you didn't know. It's okay. Like, you go on Rick's Wild Feeds and you ask, like, someone will tell you what they'll be saying. Here's this channel. Oh, it's a channel I want. BIS. What does BIS mean? And Rick will be, he'll be treading you safely. He might remove your comment, like, what's BIS key? And basically, it's a key that gives you authorization to, like, it will show up as encrypted, and then the key will unlock it. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. But anyway, so, like, there'll be a service there. It's a strong signal. What you can use encrypted channels for is for setting up your ARC for free to air legally. Yeah, there's, like, encryption keys, but we don't promote that here. And Rick's Wild Feeds won't either, so he wants to keep things, he wants to cover his ass, and I want to cover my ass, legally. Orma Gibson, hey, how's it going? Blessings to you too. And I hope this, like, what I can hope that if people are going to get into this hobby, I hope it can be a blessing to you. I mean, that's the one thing I hope that free to air can be. Even if you want cable, I mean, cable's just, I just haven't had cable for years, but I know there's a lot of people that are in the hobby and they want to get everything. So they'll pay for cable. They got money for it, so they can pay for cable. I've always been on a tight budget, so cutting cable's been kind of nice. And the free to air hobby is actually saving money. Like, you spend an upfront cost for the equipment, but then in the long run, like, I'm not paying any monthly fees where, I don't want to buy this free to air satellite dish and receiver when it's going to be like $200, when you're going to pay for cable 2 months will be like $200. Does vertical, car guy asked, does vertical and horizontal polarity have to do with the way you adjust your LNB? Yes. And if you adjust your LNB wrong, you can get the opposite polarity with the C-band LNB for sure. So, like, if you have your LNB upside down, you might be getting horizontal where vertical should be. At least I have, I believe, when I've done it before. So yeah, there'll be a horizontal and vertical. Some LMBs, like a subscription service LMB, will have like two. You'll see the two outputs, and you can actually run your outputs so that one will be your vertical, one will be your horizontal on that LMB. So you can have multiple receivers switching around, and basically the vertical and horizontal is an antenna. So there's like an antenna. So here's one, here's one. If you look inside of a C-band LMB, you'll see these two antennas, and they'll be kind of like that, and that will be like the one antenna will be your vertical and your horizontal. Hopefully I explained that well scientifically. I don't know. There's probably more people out there who know that a lot more than this than me, but how many videos have you done on this topic? I'm like the only one out here who's educating people about free to air with my little knowledge that I know about it. Devin Cole, what size of Ku-band dish has good reception? I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. 36-inch is pretty good. Our friend Eric, I don't know if he's left, I think he got a 39-inch, which is good, which is just a little bit bigger, a little bit better. If you get that on an HH motor, you're probably going to get pretty good reception. But 36, I was able to lock everything. The problem is I put it on a stupid tripod and didn't put it on a concrete post in the ground, so the wind kind of pushed it a little bit, and now it's off, so I have to go out and adjust the dish just a little bit and then go back inside, and it'll work better. But because I'm experimenting, I like having it on a tripod. I like, saying, hey, if you're in an apartment, like for the videos that I've done, you might be in a situation where you're at an apartment building and you want to be able to get channels, and probably apartment buildings are going to tell you not to have things on your balcony. That's what they did to me. But just whenever they come inside, just bring it inside. I don't know. Douglas Hormick, hey Robbie, hey big guy. CP Wolf, do I know Techmon? No, but I watch his channel. He has some good content out there. I love YouTube. If it ain't free to air, if it ain't over the air, I watch YouTube a lot because there's a lot of really cool channels out there. And maybe one day when I'll win the lottery, or someone will win the lottery and give me millions of dollars to start up a new channel, I would love to have a channel with cool stuff like Technomon and Antenna Man, and just take YouTube videos and broadcast it. I don't know, with their permission, but then monetize it like in another platform of a linear TV platform. But I don't know. I was a huge fan of the movie UHF, and I've always wanted to do like a crazy TV station. Have a Weird Al Yankovic show and crazy stuff like that, and have a fun TV network, because like TV networks now are very corporate. They tell you what they're going to tell you what you're going to like. And I don't know. In the 80s and 90s, I found some of the TV stations were more cool. Where now they're kind of like they're owned by cable companies and they're telling you what to think. So, but they probably did all along too. I'm just older now and I realize it. Samuel Hood, how many over-the-air channels you get in your area? So over the air, I get 20 channels reliably. They just added like a low power TV station that has like 7 channels now. It has like NBC, so I do get NBC in my area now. Broadcast. Oh yeah, I said earlier I don't get NBC, but yeah, they just added one like a couple of years ago, and they fixed the antenna. It comes in better now. It has antenna TV. It has grit and bounce and QVC and shop and something else in there too. Lots of sub channels. Eric's still there. Oh yeah, so I see your comment there, Eric. Yeah, you got a 39. He drops, drops the news channel that's better than CNN. So people do ask me a lot, is there a news channel? Oh yes, there's a beauty out there. And there's CNN News Source. So if you like our president of the world guy, you could watch his rallies live on 87 West, which are quite. I enjoy watching some of these rallies. They pump me up. Now I got people mad at me. No, I'm not a Trump supporter because I don't live in the United States. So there's no way I can vote for him. But I do follow him on Twitter. Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah, in South America, that's Jonathan Lima. Broadcasters in Brazil are trying to figure out the 5G interference out. They are taking on phasing out C-band beams and focusing more on KU sites. So that's I hope and pray that that will be the future of television. More KU band diginets. More of those, like the channels that are on 101 West, Heroes and Icons, and all that cool stuff. All those diginets would be on KU band. That would help me. My YouTube viewership would probably go up if they put a bunch of killer app channels over on KU band. I pray, Lord. Let's all pray together. Even if you don't believe for a second. Lord, please let them put more channels on KU band that will bring people toward you by watching the preachers, and that will get more free, just the good entertainment too. Lord, we pray for that in Jesus' name, amen. It's a Fairpoint Farms. Fairpoint Farms, Eric, you could probably build a TV station. You got a CB radio station, but yeah. Yeah, I saw your video there where you got the in your country you have that freedom to put a little 5,000, the low power AM thing up there. So yeah, that's Fairpoint Farms. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, man. I dreamed of owning an independent TV station. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wish more people would do that, like, or more organizations. Like, I don't know, we got an organization here, like, of binding together some resources to put something like that up. Churches can do it. I mean, a church gets like 100 people and they get enough donations, they're able to do some pretty big things. And like all like these big mega churches have like TV stations, like the man who's gonna blow away the coronavirus guy. I'm gonna save that for another night, but I'm going to talk about all the TV preachers that we get on satellite, because I get a kick out of it. I really do. I think that some of the characters, Gene Scott's the first we talk, and I'll talk about him, because he's just the man, the legend, the leather jacket, and the smoking the pipe or the cigarette. Well, or fighting out of his mouth while he's like teaching the Bible. Is there more? Bro Weaver asks, is there more room on KU band? I'm not sure. Well, now, and I love when people tell me the glory days of satellite, when there was all these channels, but there actually is more per capita channels now. There's DVB-S2, and things are moving to H.265, so that means more channels per transponder. Satellite's always like, I don't know, 10 years ahead of broadcast TV, where we have ATSC. And satellite they've had DVB-S, and even DVB-S has had channels like, I don't know, like 10 channels on one transponder. So I don't know which one has the more capacity. It's just like each one's a carrier. So I'm not a radio expert. I know there's lots of people are very knowledgeable on the radio stuff that probably answer that better than I can. I am asking a friend, are you a swing singer? Sorry, I meant a swinger. No, I don't think so. I'm one of those. I've dated one woman in my life, and I'm married to her now. Yeah, and I'm proud to say that. I mean, I love my wife. Buddy St. John says that they want to use KU band frequencies, and I was sort of talking about Starlink, and I got distracted. Starlink wants to use KU band. Elon Musk says, "Oh, it's not going to interfere with satellite communications." I hope not. Better not. I mean, there better be technology here that doesn't affect my watching my news channel. That's better than CNN on 99 West. KA band. Cable companies use KA band, buddy, but I'm not sure about. Yeah, I had like for a while I had the HughesNet, but in Canada it's a different company. I forget. Anyway, they use HughesNet satellites, but they have like a company that's a subcontractor that uses the HughesNet stuff. So I had one of their dishes, and it was a KA band dish, but I never set it up because I didn't have the proper size pole for it. So I've never set it up. And there's another guy that did videos years before there was a YouTube in the late 90s. And check that guy out. I forget his name, Dave something. He has a channel, and he's got some good videos on that. He sets up a C-band dish, and I think he explains it a lot better than I could. So it's like something, if you're setting up C-band dish, watch his video, watch my video, and hopefully figure it out. How much compression is there on satellite? Here in the USA, OTA stations have little no compression with better, has better picture. Yeah, unfortunately, what I've noticed with some of the channels that have like 7 channels, like Antenna TV, since they've added all these sub channels, it looks very pixelated, which is kind of sad, but hey, it's free TV. But it looks like watching some of those channels on Galaxy 19, like on the TBN Mux. Sometimes I think Smile of a Child. It's got a low bit rate, but if you watch it over on C-band, the bit rate is much better. And then there's other feeds that are on satellite, like on Monday Night Raw on 55 West. It's like my hard drive can't write fast enough. One of these things cannot write fast enough for Monday Night Raw, so I have to use like one of those plug-in hard drives. Anyway, one of those plug-in hard drives to record it. Because a video quality, the bitrate's so high, it's such a high quality. It's even H.264, but even still, it's like it's a big file bitrate. It streams over my network fine though. Yeah, and so ATSC, I mean, some of the picture quality on ATSC is great, bro. Weaver, yeah, like I got like the Canadian channels are all really good quality because there's only one channel on the carrier. One 1080i channel. How much more do we have? Okay. Do I have another video I want to play? With camera. I think I'll just leave it at that. I had a video I was going to play in here, but I don't think the quality is good enough for playing a video. It's just a Sal's video. Kind of a shortened down from what I've already done, which I'll be posting a little bit later on. I think I'll just I'll leave that. So what else? Just looking at my... Open Broadcast Studio. I love Linux. Linux is wonderful. I love that freedom. That's why I like Linux. I like free to air. I like freedom. I like being able to get stuff. I'm not a very rich man, but but I can use these tools at a very low price. Most sub channels are 480i. Yep. Yeah. I mean, sometimes for old content, that's all you need. I don't know why. Heroes and Icons has like that high, they're 720p. Well, like why? It's gonna show old reruns all the time. Oh yeah. Buddy says DirecTV uses KA band. Possibly. I'm not very interested in paying for any of those services, unless they were like $20 a month, and I can't get direct or dish in Canada anyway. Well, I can, but I'm gonna be legal about things. Omar Gibson on Galaxy 14, 15, and 18 satellite. Can those satellites be an option, or I'm not sure what's on those satellites. You got to tell me the number where they're at. That's where it goes. Oh, yeah. Jonathan Lima says that the highest bitrate I ever captured here in Brazil is at 70 West at 50 megabytes per second, MPEG 2. Yeah, MPEG 2, using 422, which is like, not every receiver can do 422. 422, you know how it's written there in the chat. Basically, my open ATV box will do it, and also the, I'm trying to think of the box's name. OpenATV will do it if you stream it to your computer. You can watch 422, but you can't actually just plug and play and watch it. But if you stream it to your computer, VLC will encode it and do it in software. I don't know how that works, but that's just how it works. After new broadcast towers went up, do not get any pixelation. Cool. Oh, sorry, it went away. I'm going to look over here. I can... I-386. No, this is water. Water is good. Water does wonderful stuff for you. I don't drink alcohol anymore. It gives me heartburn. And so water is good. I drink maybe a little bit of milk in my cereal. Cut out pop. Still want to lose some weight. Get healthier. But No, just water. This is an old jam. Is it jam jar? No, relish jar. This was relish, but these things, all my other glasses broke. And me being a thrifty guy that I am, it's like, hey, wash out the relish jar and enjoy. We've got 10 minutes left to go. Cool. I've enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you understood what I was saying. Most of it. What Linux distro are you? I'm using Linux Mint. I love that. It's the user-friendly, easy one, in my opinion. Sorry, something scrolled past me here. Oh, is this thing on? Okay. All private Jesus A says all private services are KU circular signal. Yeah, I thought so. I like I don't know I don't know a whole lot about DirecTV, but because there's multiple dishes that have like these weird long slim lines and all that's DirecTV or that's Dish Network. But and free to air. You'll get channels that you don't get on cable. Yeah. So that's kind of a cool thing about like well, I guess they have NASA and RTV. They brought them, but yeah, you don't get all those channels that you get. Joseph Jonathan Lima, sorry. ATSC was better. No, ATSC is not. ATSC is moving away. We're going to get ATSC 3. I guess it's not the best for mobile TV and all that kind of stuff. Tyler the Antenna Man has done quite a lot of good videos covering that subject. Jonathan has a TBS capture card. I wanted to get a TBS capture card and play around with that with Linux. I don't know of a program that's like that would receive free to air easily. There's VLC, but VLC it's coding rocket science, rocket surgery stuff to get. That's what I like to call complicated things in Linux. So if there was like a program, like I use a program for my over-the-air tuner called Caffeine. If there's a program that just works simply like that, even Caffeine, it doesn't show you the signal quality the right way, but at least with Caffeine, it kind of does. How many people are watching? 40. Cool. Yeah. Stay away from the circular signals that could damage your FTA box. I don't think that that would do any damage. It's just there's not really any circular free to air. NASA used to be circular KU band on 110, something like that, and they had NASA there, but and they used to be like freebie channels. Like if you scan in the circular channels, you get a few freebies, which I don't even do anymore. I'm played around with it for a bit, and so I don't really. I just mainly go into. So you're saying something about moonshine? Oh yeah. Good night, Danny. I-3086 said your uncle had trees blocking his dish. Chainsaw. International sat using circular right left hand polarities, says Buddy. Oh yeah. C-band, you put like this little, like it looks like a circuit board, the little plate inside. I don't even have that in my LMB. I didn't know if it would affect the signals, the other signals. Some people probably say that they don't. But if I'm there's like one satellite in my range that I can get that does that, and it's in a language that's not English, and I only speak English barely. Oh yeah, Jonathan Then yeah, use DVB viewer. I'm kind of stubborn. I don't want to use Windows if I don't have to. I love using Linux. I got Windows on this computer. I never boot up in it, and the problem with Windows these days, Windows 10 can do an update and then mess up your Linux partition, and then you have to reinstall Linux. I don't. If Microsoft is going to do that, I'm not going to use Windows, and I'm not going to get a separate computer just for Windows. I got two computers. Well, actually, I have quite a few old laptops that run Linux, and they all run Linux. My wife has one computer that runs Windows, not 10, the one between 7 and 10, I think. I don't know. And so she has her Windows computer. She used to use Linux, and when I first was dating my wife, she had a Linux book. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the woman I'm going to marry." Yeah, that's just it's one of those things. Sometimes like you could pretty much do most things, but then sometimes there'll be a program that will not work in Linux. But I'm using my software-defined radio stuff with GQRX, which is a free program, works in Linux. And with the OpenATV box, I can watch my satellite receiver in VLC in Linux, and I don't have to go through drivers and all that. It just uses a web interface, so it makes things a lot easier. Yeah, they're owned by billionaires, and they show commercials. So like, why give them your money when you can get free entertainment? Watch the Robbie Strike channel on YouTube. There's yes, there is ads. I'm trying to make a few dollars off this, but I'm not a billionaire. And if I did, I'd have a TV channel on Galaxy 19. And other YouTube creators. I love that this platform where I'm able to create videos and put that out to people, because I wanted to work in TV, but the people in TV are crazy, and so not my kind of people. I-36, my uncle told me I can get his antenna. Radio Shack probably will still work. Rotors are good for an over-the-air antenna. I got 5 more minutes, and I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Rotors. I have an antenna, and it's on a rotor. Now, with my rotor, I have a directional antenna. I just got to aim it at one spot, because the other TV stations come in fine, like the ones that come in stronger. But then I got it pointed toward the weak stations are, and I get everything that pretty much. And then there might be the odd time where I get the really good weather, and I can point the antenna to another direction and get a few other channels just to, hey, what's broadcasting out of Rochester, New York? I can't get Rochester, New York all the time, but I can get it on clear days. Do I hate? Hate's a strong word, man. Copa. I don't know what Copa is. There is no censorship on site. Oh, that's true. There's some stuff out there. It's that would be kicked off a social media platform. That's for sure. And I am for free speech, and I think. Even people that you disagree with should be able to have free speech. And that's like a value that I really, as long as you're not advocating to hurt people, I think people should be allowed to have their speech and opinions. And it's a scary time now, yeah. Is C-band is it going away? I don't know at this time. I think C-band's going to be repacked, like over-the-air broadcasting has been repacked, because broadcast, you can fit, like, one transponder used to fit one standard definition channel. Now you can fit, how many channels does Orbi TV fitting on those 2 transponders? And they're like a direct-to-home service, but they're fitting what's it, 40, 50 channels on 2 transponders. They're not very, maybe not the best quality, but they're fitting it on 2 transponders. I haven't checked out Linux Mint 20. I'm a legacy guy. Like, I love the older version of Kden Live, so I'm still using Linux Mint 18.3, and I haven't moved up to 19. I gotta figure out if someone knows how to do it. The app image thingy, where I can take the old Kden Live and install it in a newer computer, which I just haven't done the research. My research, watching YouTube videos on how to do it. My YouTube degree on how to put that up on. So I can take the Kden Live editor that I like to work with and put it in a newer system. Because the new Kden Live, I'm not impressed with the rendering options, and I've done videos on that, and it's fallen on deaf ears. So I'm still using an older version of Kden Live, which works great, and they changed it to be kind of crappy. Message rejected, I-36. Don't use language in here. I probably wouldn't, yeah, I probably don't have it if language is, if the language is kind of colorful. I try not to have that, like, it's like what I like to have, because I got children. I don't want to, with YouTube, I got to wear like headphones all the time. Because people use this language that I don't want my kids to hear. And the kids are watching like YouTube Kids. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I was going to show a segment, but I figured I was so into rambling on. So it's been an hour and a half. I'm going to do another one of these live streams. It's just hard for me to say when. I got 30 people on, 43 people on tonight. That's cool. I don't know if there's a better time to do a live stream. Oh, yeah, you removed it? Yeah, I didn't know what it was. So if someone wants to private message me, I have my email address that you can get in contact with me here on this channel. It's one of those things where you got to click on it just to avoid spam and all that. What else? So I got my Facebook group, and if you're not on Facebook, check out Discord. Nobody called me on Discord tonight, or I had a Discord thing here. No one's on Discord. I try to do a Discord chat like on Sunday afternoons, but sometimes I get busy and I don't hear anything. Where we can do a chat, but I was thinking I want to do more live streams. It's just I want to do it with a certain amount of time, an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then be able to. But it's always like a time like this when my kids are going to bed, so it's tricky in the timing. I'd like to do it earlier, but anyway, I'm gonna figure out what to do. I might just end up doing it. And thanks a lot for my wife for having the patience to do this and put the kids to bed and give them their snacks before bed, and let me do this and talk to you guys about my passion about free satellite TV and open source stuff and cool technology, old technology, which is still fun to play around with today. Yeah, so sorry if I'm not reading all these. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got a Discord channel. In this video, I got like a link you can click on and join. I'm gonna go rest after this, but I'm on it from time to time. As I say, Sunday afternoons is usually a nice time to I turn on Discord and I have a little. I'm there for a little bit. Usually, not a lot of people chat there, but I kind of put it out there. Hey, it's Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, if you don't do voice, I just thought it'd be cool. Someone might want to call me through that. It's the cool thing maybe for next time for using Discord is and I'm going over the time limit here, but are we still streaming? Yeah, it's still going. Could have just been talking to myself, but I still see text here. Yeah, so for Discord, yeah, if you don't want to talk to me, but I'm trying to figure out a VoIP way of like having people call in, like to do like a call-in show. I think that would be really fun. If you wanted to talk to me. So maybe next time I'll if you want to talk to me over Discord and then like on a Sunday and then before I do a live stream, I'll put it out. I want to put it out a few days before I do a live stream just to give you a heads up. Hey, I'm going to do a live stream on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights work good for me this week. Saturday or Sunday night, I don't know how well that would work, but I haven't figured all that out yet. But yeah, at some point I'd like to do that. There's other cool live streams on that might be going on at this time too. So, okay, well, thanks for watching. I'm not going to ramble on too long. I'm just going to play out the outro. And thank you so much for joining me here in the chat. I'll stick around for a few minutes in the chat, and then I'm going to go drink some water here. And I'm going to head out. So, oh, really? Maybe it's no longer working. In other parts of my videos, I do have it. And over on my Facebook group, if you can contact me on Facebook or somewhere else, I'll fix the link later on. Make sure it's working. So maybe try back in this video tomorrow. I usually put my Discord link, my invite link. I invite anyone into Discord. If you want to talk to me, talk to me. All right, so cool. Yeah, okay. Oh, set it to never expire. Okay, thanks. Yeah. I'm not. I don't use Discord a lot, but I like that. You know, the IRC chat room feel, but it has the voice chat. I'm from the days of Yahoo Chat where I did a Weird Walter segment in the Yahoo Chat. So okay, good to know. Good to know. So I got my computer here. All right, so I'm gonna play the outro, and thank you very much for joining me tonight in this chat room. It's been a real cool time. I've been using Zoom and all these things, and this has been cool. I've been wanting to have people to talk to about satellite because, like, I don't know anyone in my area that cares about free to air. It's like people online. All right, so cut to the ending, and so thank you very much for watching, and we'll go to the ending, and great, thank you. So please check out my YouTube channel, Robbie Strike, and check out all the technology videos and reviews that I've done covering satellite, free-to-air, cell phone, how to do stuff in Linux, how to do stuff in shortwave and old technology, and doing neato things with computers,